Is Gordon Hayward having a confidence crisis? Brad Stevens doesn't think so. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Josue Pavon. Obviously, in the Celtics lost against the Suns on Saturday night, Gordon Hayward looked a little hesitant. He missed that late game layup that kind of caused sent everyone into a frenzy, especially on that crazy Celtics Twitter. You know, everyone likes to overreact.
Celtics Twitter was upset about that one for sure.
Overreact on that platform, but ever since his injury, since he's come back, he's been really up and down, and maybe more down than up. So is this criticism warranted for Hayward?
I don't think it's warranted. I just think that it was one of those moments where Celtics fans are like, okay, that's it. I've had it now. Like, we've been giving you a pass. It's like up and down. One game, you're going off, what was it, 11 of 18. Another
15.
game, you're, what is it, 4 of 16 or whatever. I'm a little off there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans now are just like, okay, wait a minute now. Look how much money he makes. And everyone's going to keep saying that over and over again. But what people keep forgetting is what happened when the season kicked off, and I'm still holding on to that. Okay, whatever. It was 2 weeks, right? Okay, it was 2 weeks, but he keeps showing flashes of that since he's been back from his injury. And I think with that being said, law of averages are going to sort its way out, right? And this isn't a second or third year guy. He was an all-star before the huge injury. This is a guy who you have to look at his track record and say that if he just keeps doing what he's doing, it's going to come back to him. So I'm not necessarily concerned. I understand the criticism, and I get it. Some people are like, okay, wait a minute now. Where's that Gordon that's going to just go off and put a team on his back, one of these nights? Not that he has to do it every single night, but I just think people need to just stick with it. It's not early in the season, but when you consider how much time he's missed, I think he gets a bit of a pass until All-Star break. Okay, at least until All-Star break.
And I think people overlook Gordon Hayward when he's not having superstar games, but when he's also not having really inefficient games like he did on Saturday night, when he's just kind of making his presence known by spreading the floor, getting those assists, just doing things that don't show up
on the box score.
So I do think people kind of tend to jump on him when he's having a bad shooting game, when they don't, when they forget that he's actually been pretty decent over the last couple games. That he just hasn't gone off for 30+ points. But what does Hayward have to do now moving forward as the Celtics still are in this tough stretch of games to kind of prove people wrong and shut up the critics?
Keep doing what you're doing. Like Brad Stevens nailed it when you get the question like that. That's the last thing I'm worried about is Hayward's confidence. Like that's always there, and I think that's why Brad sort of snapped a bit. Not snapped, but he was a little snarky when he reacted to I think it was with Mark Murphy, who asked him if is Gordon Hayward having a confidence crisis. No, that's not the case at all. If that was the case, you would see it more in his numbers, right? You would see less field goal attempts. You would see him not pass up opportunities or not want to have the ball in his hands, and we haven't seen that yet. And we've seen the hesitant Gordon Hayward. Celtics fans, we remember what that looks like. When he first came back from the injury, he's so far removed from that I don't think it's the confidence. I just think it's the results. And it's easy to be upset or to pinpoint someone like Gordon Hayward's performance when you see this team continue to lose against teams that are well below 500. But you have to remember that, again, I just think the confidence is there. And if his approach continues to be the same, he's gonna turn things around. Exactly. It'll work its way out. So, I mean, let's just wait a bit before we pull that card, before we start complaining. Let's just see what happens here. And I'm still holding out for Gordon Hayward. And if we're talking about his confidence, that's the last thing I'm worried about, when it comes down to it. And this segment, of course, is brought to you by Roman. Head to roman.com/garden. Your online clinic for men dealing with erectile dysfunction. You get 2-day free shipping, and you get a free online visit. So what more can you ask for? That's getroman.com/garden.
For all the rest of our Celtics coverage, head to our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.